Right, so welcome to Wednesday Uploads. We've decided that we're going to change this to car dealer therapy.
Yeah.
So from now on, if you've got questions in the comments, or you've just got something that you want to talk about that you want to hear our experiences with as well, you might have a problem or an issue that you're dealing with at the moment, and it might be just some advice to help you deal with that too. But
Yeah.
it's mainly just an opportunity to get things off our
Well, yeah,
chests
'cause
about
we're
the industry.
we are. I would never say that I am a car expert,
No,
but
definitely not.
I've been in the business for 11, 12 years, and what I've learned is it's good to share. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Exactly.
So if people have got any problems out there, they just want to get stuff off the chest in the car game. People that aren't in the car game who just want to ask us about cars, just hear our thoughts, and if we share these experiences, it'll help.
It'll help people, hopefully you guys, to move forwards a little bit from it as
Yeah,
well.
that's it. And it's good
Just
for
make
us
sure-
as well, because it gives us ideas.
Exactly. Gives us
Yeah.
ideas for stuff that we can maybe do in the main content videos
Yeah.
as well to
Yeah,
cover.
but in our business as
And
well.
exactly, yeah,
That's
definitely.
it. That's it.
So we've had a few questions that have come in the comments over the recent week. We're going to do a couple of those now just to start with. So first one we had from a guy, it's ROIMV, your username is on YouTube. So you asked us, hi Dave, I'm currently on 12 stock slots on Autotrader at the moment, and I have a value with 10 cars at 4 to 8,000 and 2 cars at 2,500. So that's 12 cars,
Yeah,
10 at 4 to 8,000, 2 cars at under 2.5.
yeah.
Looking to move to 18 slots, but not sure if the right move or if I should stay on 12 cars and try to increase my stock value. What's your opinion?
So, yeah, for me, I always think it's better to have more slots on Autotrader than less, because, like we were saying the other month, if you stand still,
That's when you fall over.
you fall over.
Yeah.
So, getting more cars should make you more busy in your business.
Yeah.
And when you're busy, you're not waiting for the phone to ring, you're just busy all the time, and then you're not as well thinking, oh God, I've had that car for weeks.
It's taking up space.
It's taking up space, it's pulling on my heartstrings, it's weighing me down. When you've got more cars, you're busier, and it keeps the wheels turning quicker. So I'd always say go for more slots.
Yeah.
The other thing is as well, if you go to 12 cars that are more expensive, I know it depends on what you're selling and whatnot, but what we found is that the more expensive cars, the lumpier cars, seem to hang about a lot longer.
Yeah, anything that's meaty tends to sit about, doesn't it? That's just the general. I think for most dealers, that's the general thing anyway, because it does.
Yeah.
It does. It's only a certain. You're going to find more buyers for a $2,500 car, possibly in terms of affordability.
Well, if you've got a load of $2,500 cars, see, this is the other thing. Don't fall into the trap of having 10 cheapy cars and then you think, all right, I'll go and buy 2 really expensive cars.
Yeah.
Personally, I think you've got to get the balance right. If you're going to go, I don't know, like 5-6 grand cars, if you're going to go 12, but balance it out where they're all like 5 to 8 grand.
Mhm.
You don't want a load of 3 grand cars and then 2, 10, 12 grand cars. Because then even just when people look at your stock profile or the turn up, and it doesn't fill them with as much confidence.
No. And also, I feel like people are looking at that end of the market, they maybe feel like, well, they're selling a 10 grand car, are they treating that car like a 3 grand car in terms of prep and everything like that?
Exactly.
It just doesn't give them the confidence,
just for the customer, it's psychological.
Yeah.
But if you go up to 18 cars and they're all of the same sort of price range.
Yeah.
The great thing is if you've got like 18, I don't know, let's say 5 to 7 grand cars, what you're in at the moment, you're in the 2.5 grand bracket. So when you get your part exchanges in, you're going to be back to your sweet spot where you're used to selling the 2.5 grand stuff.
Yeah.
So instead of paying the auction fees and all that jazz, you're going to be getting better swappers.
They're naturally coming in just
Yeah.
as what is it? Oh, what's the phrase? I'm doing this now because you do it all the time.
Oh, about quotes.
Forget your quotes. It's
keeping the wheels turning.
Keeping the wheels turning, but you've got
the
that
momentum.
momentum.
Momentum's a big one.
The momentum's kicking in. But
Yeah.
what I was going to say with the Part X's coming in, it replenishes itself. That's it.
Yeah, of course it does.
Replenishing
Yeah,
it, and you've not got
definitely.
it, like you say.
And another thing is,
for it.
if you just have 12 slots, you're not going to do as many cars, you're not going to do as much finance, you're not going to get as many part exchanges. It's a bit like fishing, you know, you put in your tackle, what is it, your...
you put your tackle in water.
yeah.
You didn't get your tackle in.
You know,
You put your line in.
Your line in, and these are all the cars, and we're trying to fish for the customers.
Yeah.
So if you've got 18, you've got 18 better, well, if you've got 12 to 18, you've got another 6 better chances
It's
of
better
getting
quality
customers.
bait, isn't it? That's
It, that's the thing.
Yeah, not tackle. Don't get your tackle.
Those are our analogies. Yeah, bloody hell.
Again, I'm going to write that book one day. Probably end of this year once we've got another load of content to go through. But I think also as well, don't give up on those 4 to 8 grand cars, because I think if you've got 10 at the moment, that's your bread and butter. Like they're going to be the cars that you know best. Obviously, get the 18.
Another thing, what you've just tweaked me there. Like another thing, you might think, I'll get more expensive cars, and then you're buying cars that you're not used to, that you don't know about.
Exactly, you don't know where to get the parts from.
And then you've got to find out the problems with them that you're not probably used to with the other cars that you're selling. But you've definitely got to get out your... What the big thing is getting out of your comfort zone and getting to them 18 cars. Try not think of the monthly payments, because you'll look at it and you'll be like, oh God, 12 cars, I'm in my comfort zone of paying, I don't know, it might be like 15, 1600 quid a month. And then it goes to 18 and it might be 2.5 grand. And you think, oh my God, that's $1 grand more. It's so much more expensive. But you're going to be selling more cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Ideally.
If you've got more to sell, you're going to sell more. That's hopefully the way it goes forward.
And do you know what? We've got in the... when I look at us, we've been a bit stuck in our ways. I've been stuck at 40 slots on Autotrader for about 3 years. And I look at other traders where you compare and despair. And, you know, friends of mine that were on 43 years ago are on like 60s now. My other friend Craig from C Cars, he's on 80. So I feel terrible. I'm like, well, I should be... You
feel like you should be doing more.
I should be doing more. I should be doing more. But at the minute, just because we're getting rid of all this like rubbish stock, once we get that stock profile down to a T, then we'll move up to the 50. And that's what this chap's got to do as well. He's got to be happy with his stock profile.
Yeah, definitely. Think about what you want to sell and then make them fit in that sort of like bracket, those slots that you've got there.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point to move on to this next question, because they are linked quite well actually. So Irish Dog 2031, he asked us, hi DJ Guy. Previously I purchased stock at 2 to 3 grand for retail, but now I want to purchase better stock at 5 to 7 grand. What stock would you recommend to go for, as I cannot offer finance as of yet?
Yeah, so firstly, don't worry about finance, because the 5 to 7 grand stuff, I mean, how many cars do we sell on finance, 5 to 7 grand?
Not many. It's very few. I mean, we had that lady yesterday, didn't we, on that Punto? But also...
But she didn't go with us.
No, exactly.
She went with an outside finance company.
Offering finance isn't the be-all and end-all. I think if you want to stock those kinds of cars, because obviously they've got better margin in for you, then just qualify customers properly and point them towards an outside finance company. Yeah.
Because even if you have got your own finance, 5 to 7 grand, it's going to be what, 140 quid.
Yeah.
Isn't it, the commission? Which is...
It's not going to be. It's not going to be worth the hassle in many cases for it, and
especially you're better off selling a warranty-wise warranty and whacking £140 on top of the warranty-wise warranty.
Because at least it's all there without the bollocks of it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing as well, is with. You could refer to those people on those types of cars for finance if you did do your own.
Yeah.
But in experience, a lot of people who are buying at that end of the market are probably ones who are going to go with subprime lenders anyway.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get any commission.
You don't get them anyhow.
Yeah. So it's a lot of running around for you. Yeah. For no gain.
Yeah. So let the customer do the work.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let them go to car finance 24/7. Let them go to Zoot
and all you've got to do is just send the invoice when it gets in, and that's it. You sorted.
And that's it. Yeah. And that's it. So he's in the. I've been purchasing 2 to 3 grand stock, which is probably great because he's turning it round quick, and now we want to purchase £5,000 to £7,000 stuff. what stock would you recommend? You know, it's down to you. You've probably learnt in the 2 to 3. I'm assuming you're selling like bread and butter stuff, Focuses. Well, there's nothing wrong with going up to better Ford Focuses, better Golf.
Yeah, newer
Stick to what you're in at the 2 and 3 grand, but just up the.
Don't think that because it's 5 to 7 grand you have to buy like BMWs and Audis.
That's
and
the worst thing you can do.
Because if you get let's be honest, a 7 grand BMW is going to be like a 60 reg 5 series, isn't it? Maybe
with 100,000.
Yeah, just coming up to, if not over 100,000 miles on clock. It's going to have
or
potentially.
Or you could get a Focus on a 12 plate with 50,000 miles on clock. Which one? Well, apart from an Eco Boost.
Don't get no fucking Eco Boost, no.
Which one would you prefer, the BM or the Ford?
I'll do the Ford.
To sell, we're on about. We're not about.
Not to drive.
We're not about our egos, like, you know, your ego's like, oh, I'd have the BM, all day long.
Well, that's it, isn't it? You go, but
try and not let your ego rule your purchaser.
Just from experience of like, if again that BMW, let's use that 5 Series as an example, it is going to have so many more electronic components on it compared to the Focus, all of which are old by this point and are probably due replacing, and they're going to go wrong, and it's just going to cause you headaches, because even if you have your own warranty in place like we do, and you don't cover those kinds of electrical components,
the customer's only going to come back to you.
Exactly.
It's only going to come back to you. And the other thing is, every now and again, you will get a nice BM at 5 to 7 grand. They are out there.
Yeah. You just got to buy it if you think it's the right one, but obviously do your research before you commit to it.
If he wants to go into BM's £5,000 to £7,000 area, I'd just buy private, because then you could check out the cars, or maybe motorway. But I would not risk my money at the auction
on that sort of stuff.
So personally, I'd stick to bread and butter stuff. Yeah. But again, it's down to you what you.
What we were saying the other day, weren't there's a guy I watch sometimes on YouTube. It's JM on Cars. If anyone, obviously, if you watch car YouTube, you'll know who he is. He was driving his grandma's old Vauxhall Mocha the other day.
Yeah.
And he was trying to understand, like, why would somebody buy a Vauxhall Mocha? And he summed it up perfectly, which is like, they're bought by the people who go, I need a new car. They walk outside the house, look on the street and go, what's everyone else got? And they see all of those exactly the same cars there. And they go, oh, well, no one's really complained about them. So they go to the dealer and they buy that as well.
That's it.
And they're the kind of cars that if you want to sell a lot of them at that price range, just go on Autotrader, put that 5 to 7 grand bracket in, and see what's out there.
Yeah, and you know, that's a really good point. That's like 5 to 7 grand. See what's out there, but try and get it under 60,000 miles.
Exactly.
That's it. I can guarantee there won't be many BMs, Audis there, will there? Of a later plate.
Yeah.
But there'll be plenty of Focuses, maybe Golfs, but they're more expensive. Seat Ibizas.
Leons and
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this is just my opinion, try and stay away from, well, maybe the Fiestas and stuff, just because you get mum and dad, don't you, coming and...
It's all first car stuff, and first car, to a lot of people, I don't know why, first cars always seem like, it should be an easy sell for a first car. It's not.
They're the hardest.
They are the hardest, because you either get the young lad who thinks he knows everything about cars because he's been watching a load of YouTube videos and reading blog posts on Jalopnik or whatever, or you get mum and dad who are really worried about.
Dad who's changed an oil service in 1985.
Yeah,
he thinks he's a mechanic.
He did his own clutch in like 1972, so he knows what he's doing.
But he comes round with his overalls on and his mirror and he's looking, and you're like,
under a £500 Fiesta or something.
Just sod off.
No.
And it's like that Golf we sold Saturday. That was the exact
example of that, and that was me turning around and saying, I'd rather give you the deposit back than sell you this car, because we just, sometimes the best deal you do is the deal you don't.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You've got to, again, this is getting into the therapy side of this now, isn't it? But you've got to look after your own mental health, and it'd be lovely to have that extra deal on the board.
Yeah.
But when you think about the hassle and the aggro it gives you for that little bit of commission, it's not worth it.
And just remember, there's always somebody else who's going to buy that car.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh my God, these people are not going to have it, or I don't want them to have it. Nobody's going to buy the car. There's always they all sell in the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. If you've got it priced right and you've got it prepped right,
Yeah.
there's someone out there. Again, her yesterday with that Punto, she'd never even driven it. She'd bought it online.
Yeah.
Obviously, the finance company had put her in touch with us to get the car. They found it for her.
Yeah.
She turned up. She looked round it in the showroom. She was completely happy with it. Drove away and
Yeah. And that's
touch
what you
wood,
want.
not heard from her
That's what
since,
you
yeah.
want. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, not all customers are like that, but you need to. You want to try. My
Yeah.
favourite saying: selling nice cars to
nice people. Exactly.
That's just what
You've
want.
got to give the average person the confidence to
Yeah.
work with you. That's just it. Because the minute that I think the minute that you let those people in who are the ones who just want to take you for everything that you've got,
Yeah.
that's when this job
And they
becomes
can
so
sniff
difficult.
you out
Yeah.
if you're not fair but firm. And like, oh yeah, I remember when I first started, I'd be like, yeah, we'll do a service, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then next thing, they get the car and then they're ringing you up again. Oh, and this has happened and that's happened. And then they're in your life forever.
They think they're your best mate. And don't get me wrong, we do get those customers who come back to us every 2 or 3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not like that usually, are they? They probably expect a bit of money off for being a regular customer.
Yeah.
Which obviously
but we love
them having back.
Yeah.
But you don't go, oh yeah, and you'll get a free new set of alloy wheels included or whatever.
No,
It just doesn't.
it
just doesn't happen.
Yeah. So so I hope that has answered your question.
Yeah, they were two really good questions to have back to back there.
Yeah.
And like we say, if you've got any more questions, even if it's just not about the trade but just about cars in general, and you've got problems and headaches that you need some advice with, then just get in touch. Either in the comments or obviously we've got Facebook and Instagram now as well. Any video suggestions that you've got too, then just let us know. Yeah. Brilliant. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.